Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another day. Another day of matches, but what a different day we are in today. How many times can I say day in the first 30 seconds of this broadcast? The meta has shifted radically. I have not played yet today. I have not gotten a chance to get into grand challenges or push ladder or anything. I played a little bit last night right before it changed, but yeah, we're in a new meta with a new day of competitive play. We got Group B coming up today. You saw the matches. I'm very, very excited about it. I mean, it's very rare that we get a day like today where, you know, we get competitive play and an entirely new meta. I don't really know what to expect. I see you guys here hanging out in the chat. What do you guys think? Do you think today is going to be absolutely crazy? What do you think is going to be affected the most? Is Mortar Bait going to be back firmly as an overpowered win condition in the meta? Probably not. Probably not, but I'm going to keep holding out for it. I will. What's up, guys? I'm Andrew Guy. I'm one of your CRL casters for CRL West in the World Finals. Me and my buddy, my brother, as he always says, brother from another mother, Rich Slayton. He is play-by-play. I'm color commentary, so we've been doing this for a few years now. I love it. I love Clash Royale. If you guys are here hanging out on YouTube because you know me from something else, go download Clash Royale. Trust me. It's incredibly addicting, and you'll love it. So today, we got a couple matches. The second match I'm really excited about. We got Team Liquid Academy going up against Cream Academy. But first up today, you know, it's a lot of pressure, right? It's the first match of the day. It's the first match of competitive play. And of course, it is also, wait, say it with me now, a new meta. So, yeah, the matches today I'm really, really excited about. Obviously, we go through two BO3s here. It's 2v2, then King of the Hill, then 1v1, just as it is in CRL West. Obviously, things have changed a little bit, you know, in CRL East. But as I said, we got Team Paragon going up against Emperiial Esports. That's the first match of the day. It's up on my Twitter. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, just at Andrew Guy. And then following that is Cream Academy going up against Team Liquid Academy. So Cream Academy 2-0, and I'm actually going to hop back over here so you guys can see them. It might not be the first graphic up on the screen, but give me 1 second here. Look at that. It is the first graphic up on the screen. We are killing the game today. We're doing it. Gagarto is very proud of me. I know it. Big shout out to my boy Gagarto who helped put this all together and helping me out. Also, big shout out to Mobile Matt and CWA. You see their Twitter handles at the top of the screen. Those are two of the best guys in the game, in the space, in the community. And obviously, if you guys don't know who they are, you got to get to know them. So Cream Academy at 2-0. Emperiial Esports 1-1, Team Paragon 1-1. Obviously, one of them wants to come out and take that second place spot. Team Liquid Academy in a rough spot at 0-2. But we're just about to get into it, guys. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. I'll be back tomorrow casting a couple more matches. But here we go. Match 1, 2v2. Team Paragon, Emperiial. I don't know why I keep saying names so weird. I'm sorry about that. That loading screen, so sick. All right, guys, and also let me know in the chat if you know how the sound is. Let me know if I'm loud enough, if the game's loud enough, all those things. So just let me know. So we go minor log, both sides to start out. Dark Goblin. I love Dark Goblin in 2v2. It just has so much DPS, and obviously if you're playing against Graveyard, it's a great card to throw in the back behind your King Towers and pick up all those spawning skeletons, and it's very hard to spell off the map. Man, I'm so curious to see what Tornado is going to be like today. Obviously, we do not have Tornado or Giant Skeleton in this set. Those are your ban cards, and you see Joni and Molik, I believe, representing Team Paragon at the bottom of your screen. They're going to P.E.K.K.A up in the back, and on the top of your screen, you see SB and Big Bad Julesy representing, of course. I think I saw him here in the chat. People are very excited about Empower, EMP, Pratico, and Manuel. So really interesting. It's almost looking like kind of some like parts of Bridge Spam and then parts of Zap or Log Bait, Spell Bait. So Miner comes in, trying to take for that Skelly Barrel. Skelly Barrel pops, but a great log. Timing on those logs is getting better and better as we move farther into, you know, the game with very quick moving Skelly Barrels. Miner to the back. Musketeer does not turn around, so a little bit unfortunate there for Team Paragon. Nice Skelly there to catch that Dark Goblin. Does still get a hit in, but nice elixir trade. Really excited to see how much more we do see Goblin Cage with that buff, and I'll bring up the balance changes here in a little bit, guys. That way you can see what's going on with those. We can maybe talk through them just a little bit. 1568 on the top right, 1000 on the bottom left. Just gonna go straight up for Minor Poison. That will do a good job taking that Dark Prince shield off, but now a pretty beefy push coming across. What's interesting here is that, you know, Team Paragon, you can kind of see what they're going for with their win conditions. You know, they've obviously got a lot of bait aspects, but they're really not able to get a lot of damage on tower other than just with their miners, so they need to figure something else out. Poison in. A little bit of decent damage there. Miner on the tower. E was behind with a P.E.K.K.A to support. This might be a moment for these guys to turn things around. Team Paragon going on the aggressive. High Ewiz. You like that Ewiz to catch the Musketeer for a half second, mitigate a little bit of damage because they're hoping this is going to go to a 2-tower game, and they do not want to be down, but having a hard time here breaking through. 649. That tower is in spell cycle range. There's the poison, waiting for that other poison in a log. Snowball comes in, though. 2 miners on the tower. Will they take it in time? Yes, they do. You gotta go for it, guys. We've seen that so many times where teams just get a little bit too comfortable at the end of regulation, and they think, you know what, we've got the spell power, we already know the tower is within range, let's just get those spells down and kind of chill. No, you saw right there, Team Paragon went hyper aggressive and steals the win at the very end. So you see here, these are our stats today provided by Stats Royale. This is supposed to be like that, my apologies. So you see there Joni and Mullick on the left side for Team Paragon, and SB and Big Bad Julesy on the opposite side, representing Team, what did you guys call it again? Just EMP? Empower? I'm just going to call them Empower. I think that works better for me. It's easier for me. Watch me find out that that's wrong. But yeah, Team Empower there. Maybe just getting a little bit too comfortable towards the end of that last little push. They had the spell damage. They were able to take the tower. They just needed to get there a little bit sooner. So those are your stats, once again, provided by Stats Royale. Thank you guys so much over at Stats Royale. Love being able to see these at the end of the game. There's a rocket in there as well for Empower, so kind of surprising. All right, so game number 2 coming up here in just a moment. Let's do it. Once again, Team Paragon, bottom of your screen, Empower at the top. And those graphics should update in just a moment, guys. So, more Goblin Cage, more Miner. We're able to clean up that Magic Archer. That's come in. We'll see if another Miner goes down or a Skelly Barrel up front. There's a Skelly Barrel and a Miner. Okay, there we go. 2 for 2. Scary Bowl going to make good work of that bomb tower, and Empower here just willing to take a bit of damage, maybe to in turn gain some elixir here and turn themselves on offense. So great early snowball does stop those wall breakers right in their track, and then a high E-Wiz pretty much mitigating most of the devastating damage that was coming across, but Miner in the back does even things up quite a bit. Skelly Barrel does get a couple Skellies and the drop on the tower. Nice fireball comes in, makes that Musketeer pretty much negligible and gets a little bit more tower damage there, and ahead by about 615. Dark Prince should get ahead of those bats because the Skelly Barrel, nice. I love that layered offense there. You see Magic Archer rearing its head back into competitive play after its nerf now with obviously the reshift in the meta. Right back in it, and in the first couple games, so nice to see there. I know people love Magic Archer. And there we go. Once again, this is something that we talked about a little bit yesterday. You're not right next to your teammate on the stands. You can't see what they're doing. Yeah, okay, so the reason I said Empower is because I saw it in the chat. I thought that was someone was saying. I know it was Emperiial, but I wasn't sure if I was missing out on something, so this is me just showing my noobness. I'll go back to calling him Emperiial. My apologies. I just trust you guys in chat sometimes. So, Team Emperiial, Team Paragon, here we go. So P.E.K.K.A.'s out again, so this is interesting. You know, we've seen 2v2 matches and both squads have rocked P.E.K.K.A.s in both games. We see that Emperiial was able to get out that rocket this time, so now that tower in very, very comfortable range. This will be a 2-tower game, but who's going to be more efficient about closing the game out? Looks like it's going to be pretty easy on both ends. Miner's going to come in. No one has to really go for it with spells. So 76 remaining on the right. Maybe we see a Miner, we see a Log. There's the Log. And both these squads building up to battle things out on the left side. Interesting rocket there, you know. Ends up hitting the P.E.K.K.A. and the Skeleton Barrel. I thought it was maybe going to go for tower damage and the Inferno Dragon, but looks like these guys have something else in mind. Fireball actually misses the Musketeer there, but does get some tower damage. Yeah, guys, why are you trolling? Come on. Help Drew out. Paragon in a bit of a lead now. Musketeer behind P.E.K.K.A. It's nice to have all that single target DPS, obviously. Miner goes to the back. Should make quick work of that bomb tower again. Still not able to break through. Magic Archer cycled in the opposite lane because, you know, they don't want to obviously give spell value to Team Paragon, but you can just completely ignore that Magic Archer. So it's basically, it feels like 4 elixir wasted. Nice spell value there again on that Musketeer. And it looks like it's just going to be the battle of spells with 50 seconds left. What a great rocket. Picks up that Musketeer. Really, really unfortunately placed, but I do feel like they've been dropping a lot of cards there, so maybe, you know, Team Emperiial decided to pre-rocket, or maybe it was just lucky. We'll never know. Magic Archer lined up, doing what it does best. That is massive on the tower. You got to fireball that defensively, but that is going to be too much damage. 347 remains. Here comes the rocket. Team Emperiial evening things up in game number 2. Beautiful. Beautiful. Man, imagine if some idiot was calling them Team Empower. God, that'd be embarrassing. That would be so embarrassing for them. They'd probably just stop streaming. All right, let's check out the post-match stats. Here, I'm pulling up the balance changes. So there you go. Looking at it once again. A lot of miners coming out here from both squads. 11 miners played by Emperiial, and of course 10 miners played here by Paragon. Miners doing so much in 2v2. It's one of the best ways to get damage on the tower, tanking for those swarm troops, and of course with Tornado off the map, you really don't have to worry about King Tower activation as much. So obviously can still happen with some really well placed snowballs in conjunction with the kind of a carelessly placed miner. But, you know, here we are. Let's take a look at these really, really quickly. I'm actually going to go back to the match scene so that we can take a look at these changes. So we obviously haven't seen Tornado yet because it's been banned. Royal Delivery, I'm very curious to see if we're going to see more of that. A lot of people talking about Battle Healer and whether or not they thought that was enough of an HP nerf. We haven't seen her yet today. Baby Dragon nerf, obviously 8% is we'll see if it's enough. Baby Dragon, obviously very, very powerful. We saw Magic Archer and just how devastating he could be in that last game. Mini P.E.K.K.A. range being reduced. Maybe that's why we're seeing an increase in regular P.E.K.K.A. And then Earthquake and Buildings. We haven't seen Earthquake yet. Very excited to see how much that changes because I am a Mortar Bait player. Goblin Cage, Goblin Brawler, more damage. We've already seen a lot more of it. And then we'll get into the spawners in just a minute. I just want to make sure that we're not missing the match for you guys. We are. Of course we are. Come on, Drew. The match just starting out. Probably looks like they poisoned out a Dark Goblin on the right-hand side to get a little bit of tower damage. All tied up here, going into game number 3. So it looks like Emperiial here is going with a Lumberloon cycle. P.E.K.K.A. right up at the river. We'll see what they do about this balloon, but I bet you they're going to double down on offense. Will they be able to stop that Ice Golem? Maybe they decide to support the P.E.K.K.A. on the right with an E-Wiz. We'll find out. Miner goes into Lumberjack. Set of the Musketeer. Snowball does come in. So they decided to just let the P.E.K.K.A. go. Definitely one of the more frustrating things that can happen with your P.E.K.K.A. is just getting kited across the map by an Ice Golem and then just ignored and non-supported. But smart decisions early on. Obviously, in single elixir time in 2v2, you don't want to go too aggressive. Good to see you guys all here in the chat. We got Coach here hanging out and Len Stone. Arrow's going to come in, take that Dark Goblin off the board. Ewis has to come down to stop that balloon from getting in. Will still get some death damage. Obviously much better than getting a drop. Ewis supporting that P.E.K.K.A. Skelly Barrel up front. This could be a really, really nice moment for Paragon. Let's see. Those double Musketeers, though, even with the poison, doing so much great DPS. Bomb Tower dropped a second early, so those skeletons do not get picked up by it. Distracted by the miner. 1356 to 1282. Clear the bats off the map just to make a little bit of room, for this Inferno Dragon. High P.E.K.K.A. catches the Lumberjack. Will get raged up, though, this balloon. Do we have a building in hand? No, they do not. They decide to ignore it because it is the healthier tower. Had a feeling they were probably going to go for dual lane aggression. And that balloon is fireballed back. Does it get death damage? I believe it will. A nice fireball there to protect the drop, but death damage never feels good. Brawler on the tower. That extra damage is definitely doing a little bit of work. 915, 888. Nothing there for the Lumberjack. Great arrows come in, clean up the bats and the Dark Goblin. They have to play a high Goblin Cage, but do they have anything else there? It doesn't look like it. Great recognition of cycle. Great recognition of responses there by Emperiial, and they end up coming back for the set. The reverse sweep, so very nicely played. You saw what they had to do there at the end, as they really started to double down on their balloons by splitting up the pressure, right? They would go right lane, then left lane. They'd switch back and forth, and you saw Paragon stopped having all the responses that they needed. Sorry about that. They had stopped having all the responses that they really, really needed in hand. So that's a huge recognition there by Emperiial, and you love seeing when they pick stuff apart like that. You know, the balloons were getting pretty easily defended by just everything stacking up in that left-hand lane. So all they needed to do, and you guys have all been there, Lumberjack plus balloon, it's a huge push. It's so frustrating. That rage drops down, the balloon goes flying towards your tower. Even with the buildings you saw, they dropped Dark Goblins plus bats, so maybe a little bit of a mental mistake there. You're giving way too much value for your arrows. And then Dark Goblins plus bats, they had to drop a very high Goblin Cage, but since they dropped things down on the left side to defend the balloon as well, they had nothing. Nothing at all. So the balloon goes right on through to the tower, and that's exactly what Emperiial wanted to do. So first set goes to Emperiial Esports. Let's go take a look really quickly at the pre-match graphics to see where those standings are. So here we go. Emperiial Esports going up against Team Paragon. Obviously, both of them here in the middle of the pack with 3 points. Emperiial really wanting to take this win today because with the loss by Cream, they could be in a very good position moving forward. So, what'd you guys think of 2v2? Anything crazy? Any crazy adjustments? I mean, I think the thing that I saw the most was the idea that we didn't see any mini P.E.K.K.A.s, right? We're so used to seeing mini P.E.K.K.A.s in 1v1 and in 2v2, but that drop in range, I believe that is probably why you saw a lot more of that big mama P.E.K.K.A. being rotated back in. So I'm okay with that. I like seeing P.E.K.K.A. in 2v2. It's one of those cards that can do so much damage, obviously so much tankage, but it's really easy to distract and take care of for your opponent. So it's kind of a catch-22, right? You can do so much for you, but can also, as you saw early in that last game, I believe it was Paragon, you know, their P.E.K.K.A. just got kited opposite lane and then ignored. So, you know, obviously can't have everything. So here we go. Game number 1 of King of the Hill. If you guys don't know how King of the Hill works, I'll explain it to you in just 1 second. So King of the Hill, the way it works, you can see Miner is banned by both squads here. In Thrill coming out for Team Emperiial. Sam LeConquerant coming out for Team Paragon here. And the way King of the Hill works is each squad gets 3 representatives. Each representative has just 1 life, and the first squad to eliminate their opponent's 3 representatives is the winner of King of the Hill. So obviously Emperiial here wanting to close things out in a 2-set sweep over Team Paragon. Go. Now Magic Archer right back in the thick of things, looking a lot like Ram Rider already, but again, the meta did shift, so maybe he's trying something else crazy out. That's the other thing, guys. I'm going to probably miss a handful of calls today because who knows? People could just be doing crazy stuff. Magic Archer in the back, probably going to get poisoned out once again. There it is. Take that 10 times out of 10. I'll say 9 times out of 10. There's sometimes you just can't do it with your elixir, and it's not the best decision, but I'll take that. I'll take that. So Bandit at the river, aggressive cannon cart behind. Dark Prince is definitely going to get there in time, but that cannon cart isn't going to cross the river, which is a little bit unfortunate here for Sam, because Dark Prince will take it down. Yep, doesn't decide to support the cannon cart at all. Bar barrel opposite. And there's the Ram Rider. Okay, whew. All right, Drew, we got this. We got this. Ram Rider coming in, no log and cycle, so we'll see what he wants to respond with. Bomb tower. Probably not what Emperiial wanted to see. Yes, Quesadillas, the CRL West liquid is pretty good. I hear they're world champions. So Ice Golem comes down up front to soak up the cannon cart shots and the charge from the Bandit. Magic Archer not lined up, but still getting a great bit of damage on that Dark Prince. And missed log, misses the cannon cart. Cannon cart on the tower. That is a huge mental mistake. And now you see going hyper-aggressive in the right-hand lane is in Thrill. Ram Rider left, cannon cart plus Ice Golem right. Is this an overcommitment or is this a beautiful set of offense? I guess. I don't know. I think we can kind of chalk that up as even. Nice fireball. Really, really nice fireball. But Bandit in the back isn't the greatest response to a graveyard, so the barbell has to come down and clean up that Musketeer. Mega Minion on the tower gets a big swing. Dark Prince, opposite lane, completely neglected. Evens things up here. 1298, 1274, bottom of your screen, 1760. Cannon cart. Bottom left, cannon cart. Oh my gosh. Making me nervous, man. Making me nervous, Sam. Log plus Mega Minion stops that Bandit charge. Dark Prince gets another big charging swing on the left-hand tower. I'm happy to take that if I'm Sam. Need to get a log down here. Push those things back. Cannon cart picked up by the Dark Prince. Ice Golem down. Bandit needs a little bit more attention. Bandit gonna dash on through, but that's okay. Tower is very, very healthy. I still probably poison that. Towers can get close. There you go. Poison is down. Gonna even up the towers once again. Sam here for Team Paragon in a great spot. In Thrill for Emperiial in a bit of trouble. Late log. There it is. Trying to pick up anything at the river that gets dropped in support. Ram Rider still connects. That is a massive, massive connection, but did he overspend on offense? Ice Golem comes in with a Graveyard. Graveyard not getting a lot. Bandit completely neglected in the right-hand lane. Musketeer comes down to support because of everything else. Cannon cart. In Thrill doing everything he can to split Sam's elixir, make him play uncomfortably, and he's starting to make a few mental mistakes here. You see getting overwhelmed at the river on the right-hand side. Cannon cart does come in, but Bandit's on the tower. Ram Rider doesn't connect on the left, but Cannon plus Ice Golem again. Oh my gosh, this is insanely, insanely aggressive. These guys are doing so well at keeping things at bay. This game is so even right now. Ice Golem comes in. You gotta think there's gonna be a Dark Prince plus a log. Where's the log? Fireball goes left. 600, 773, 670 on the top left. Poison comes down, but it's not gonna be enough. Is it? Oh my god, it is. Wow. Wow. My neighbors must wonder what the hell is going on over here. That was incredible. What a beautiful game. That was, I mean, that was speed chess at its finest. That was absolutely nuts. Let's go look at the stats. Wow. I can't, whew. I don't know when I would have just lost my mind during that game. I would have gotten so overwhelmed so many times. 10 Ice Golems, 11 Dark Princes. These guys were cycling so fast. 9 Cannon Carts and 9 Bandits. I mean, this is... I love I love that we got triple elixir. I really do, because that end of that game was so incredibly entertaining. The amount that was going on of defense and hyper aggressive offense and picking apart your opponent's cycle and knowing where things were. Whew. Let's take a breath. Where's my coffee? I need to take a breather. You guys don't want to look at me right now. I'm just going to keep the stat screen up for a while. I just can't do it. That was so good, guys. That was so great. Let's get right into the next match. Here we go. Sorry, I got my coffee in my hand. It's important. Whew. All right, who you guys got? Who do you have after that first game? Lucas Shashek in the chat. What's up? Sam Carrasco, good to see you. Kelly Bain back after yesterday. And, of course, Gems Esports is in here. Thank you so much for putting this all together. Zach M, I see you're back again for day 2, man. Have you installed Clash Royale yet? Tell us the truth. Tell us the truth, man. Join us. Join us. Quesadillas, well, I can show you the lineups for Liquid in a little bit. So, Sherry could be rocking some sure? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just going to be quiet. I was going to say some sort of Lumberloon deck. But, I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, Sherry pretty popular in the CR world. Nice Mega Knight there comes down for Sam. So Sam stays alive for Team Paragon. And Bats coming in. Nice snowball there. Actually, a really, really nice snowball. Keeps everything right there at the river. Mega Knight is not able to break through. Bats done. Really, really nicely played. So Sam here running a Mega Knight, Flying Machine, Bandit, Ewiz deck. And Sherry, it's got to be a Balloon. You know, the idea of that Goblin Brawler getting a little bit more damage out now. Exile, triple elixir, also good to see you, brother. Triple elixir in overtime was maybe, I can't even remember, maybe 6 months ago or maybe a little longer. I have like the worst conception of time. All right, so there you go. Hyper aggressive Lumberloon opposite lane as we get in double elixir time. There's the Mega Knight. Probably going to see a late Ewiz on top of the Bats plus the Balloon. He misses the Bats with the Ewiz though, so not getting out of it what he needs. And Mega Knight going to get distracted by that Brawler. We're going to see how the Goblin Brawler works into this deck. Royal Hogs go opposite lane. Lumberjack does come down with Log, going to mitigate a lot of that damage, but still going to take probably a couple hundred. Sam here got a, you know, obviously Royal Hogs with a decent amount of Fireball bait there just because of the Flying Machine. I mean, you could literally just have the Flying Machine alone, but also the Ewiz in there. So, really, really nice kite there with the Heal Spirit. Puts that Flying Machine right in range of the Musketeer. Musketeer takes the Flying Machine off the board, and now you got to imagine Balloon's going to come back down with that Lumberjack at a sliver of HP, all raged up. Heal comes in. Musketeer, high Musketeer to get on top of that Ewiz. Very, very nice sequence put together by Sherry. That was beautiful, and you can't do anything other than what you saw right there. Sam gives him the well played because that was absolutely perfectly put together, orchestrated, conducted there at the end. That was, there was no way for him to stop it, and he knew it. You saw the little light bulb skeleton come on there. Sherry knew what was up, and that is one of the reasons why he's one of the best in the game. So you see there, it only took him 2 balloons to win that game. On the other side of it, Sam, he got only one set of his Royal Hogs out. Really, really easily defended with the Log plus the Lumberjack. And of course, he also had Snowball and the Goblin Hut. So a lot of responses to Sam's deck. I mean, it's tough, right? With Sam, you'd think the best thing he could do is try to build a beatdown push in one lane and then the opposite lane send in his Royal Hogs, which we saw a couple times. But it was just so adequately defended by Sherry every single push. He was not able to get that dual lane pressure going on. So Sherry takes one down. Team Emperiial and Team Paragon all even in King of the Hill here. So let's go into game number 3. It's going to be Sarak versus Sherry. Sarak playing some Spear Goblins at the river. Give me that mortar bait. Hold up. Yeah, I like the change. I think it's a good change as well. All right, we're getting there, guys. We see Bats, we see Fireball, we see Spear Goblins. Come on. Okay. Royal Hogs come down. Will we see a mortar in the middle of the map? No, we won't. We'll see. Okay, so we're going with the Sparky bait deck. It was pretty popular at the end of 2 metas ago, I believe. It's super fun. But I really just wanted to see some mortar. I'll be 100% honest. I know it's selfish. So I think the biggest thing we've seen today, I think I saw Kelly ask, have we seen any new, different decks today? We definitely have seen new and different decks, but I think the biggest thing, the most noticeable thing today is that we've seen a lot of Goblin Hut, which is, wow, all right, this is a big, big push. Bats come in after the minion horde because they saw the snowball come down. That is going to be towered down. What a dirty deck, and Sherry just says it. Good game. He throws up the angry face, and guys, this is why this deck was so popular. The bait aspects of it are so frustrating. I mean, look at it. What are you gonna zap? What are you gonna snowball? You gonna minion horde, goblins, spear goblins, bats, Sparky? Like, there's so many frustrating things about this deck. There's the fireball to clean up the Royal Hogs, and then of course you've got the giant up front, that big beat down giant. So giant is in front of the Sparky, right? You drop a minion horde behind, so that's a massive, massive commitment. That's a 16 elixir commitment, but it's huge. So a small spell comes in, minions are still alive, then you can drop any bait card behind, and might as well go bats because you know a log can take off your spear goblins or your goblin gang. So you go bats, and wow, Sarak just had Sherry's number on that first exchange. That was dirty. So here we go, bats in again, looking to bait out that snowball, but Sherry probably knows it's not the smartest thing to do. 9 elixir again, he can go spear goblins. He can drop a minion horde if he needs to, but he really doesn't need to. This deck, I hate this deck, but I cannot wait to play it. It is, oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. Wow, so an aggressive, ill-advised fireball in the opposite lane, feeling a little bit comfortable here is Sarak. Goblins in the corner. Sherry says, good game. Bats on the tower. Not gonna take it, but man, that was a dirty deck. Every now and then you just see a deck and you hate everything about it, but you kind of love it. That is exactly how I feel about what I just saw. So just need 1 minute for the stats here to update, and then I'll hop over to the stats screen. What did you guys think about that deck? That was a tough one, huh? Still waiting on stats. There they are. Let's take a look at those. Oh, 9 elixir to get back around in a giant Sparky deck. That's the other thing about it that's just so tough to deal with. And then, you know, the other side, we kind of see a Royal Hogs Fireball bait deck again with the E-Wiz in there, the Magic Archer Royal Hogs. But man, I hate everything and love everything about that deck. What do you guys think about that? So Sherry goes down. Team Paragon now up a game. Next up, it looks like it's going to be Sarak versus SB. Bans on both sides is the minor still. Let's see here. Magic Archer is back. Yes, Kelly Magic Archer is definitely back. Everyone knows Sarak mains this deck, though. Quentin, yeah, I mean, everyone may, but I didn't. I don't know. That's one thing that I'm very excited about, and one thing I talked about when I signed up to do this was just that there's a lot of people in this game or in this tournament that I don't know. So, you know, looks like I learned something. So did Sherry today. SB coming out here for Emperiial, trying to hang on to their lead. Sarak, after playing the giant Sparky bait deck, so we got double Prince here. Double Prince looking like double Prince bait. And those Spear Goblins are on the tower on the right-hand lane. He gets a great zap on the Sparky to keep his Prince alive and help out with his Goblin Giant, but he's still going to have a lot to deal with here on his side of the river. There's the zap. I think he should be back around to Spear Goblins. Oh, he goes a high Goblin Gang. Goblin Gang will end up paying off. Not the surround that he wanted, but still fine. So Sarak here going double Prince bait. Very interesting. Justin Cedric goes, how do you beat that? In reference to Sarak's last deck, but, you know, here we go again with a pretty cool looking double Prince bait deck. Joe A says SB is a good player. So Prince bats opposite. Do we get a zap? There's the zap. Ewiz comes down. That Sparky's going to be very, very healthy. And just enough elixir to maybe throw a Dark Prince down in front. Or does he just let it go? Probably a better idea to let it go. So there's the Goblin Gang surround that you do want. More Goblins stay alive. A little bit more DPS gets the Sparky off the map quicker or more quickly. And then you get a slight counter push. High snow or high fireball there hits the Mega Minion and the Dark Prince. Dark Prince gets a no charge. Great zap comes in there from SB, knowing that that is not what he needed right then and there. Makes it a lot harder to Sparky up in the back or get your Sparkies down when you're really, really nervous about, like, defending. The Heal Spirit comes down, gets in there. That's exactly what you need from that Heal Spirit. Dark Prince turns around, cleans up that Goblin Gang. Sarak in trouble. Wow, the one hero Goblin stays alive for Sarak, and he has to do it. He throws out the Flame Goblin, knowing that that was about as close as it gets. 984 top right. Goblin Giant, aggressive Mega Minion, bottom left. SB really starting to feel the pressure here. Dark Prince here in support, gets that jump there. Dark Prince gets a nice heal from the Hero Spirit, basically back to full HP. Does it pop the Spirit Goblins? Yes, it does. Does the zap come in? Wow. Whew, that was close. That was real, real close, guys. $14.34, 984. Zap, fireball, Sparky still alive. You never want to see that. You never want to spend that much elixir to take a Sparky off the board. That's alive. So Sparky cleans up that Dark Prince, just getting all of the value in the world, and now enough elixir to get that Goblin Giant back down, knowing that Sarak did not have the ideal exchange there. Goblin Gang high, popped by the Sparky. Ewiz down. Dark Prince down. Sarak's in trouble. Sparky goes in. That is going to do it. There is no way that he can stay alive at this. He tried his best. Sarak falls now in game number 4. We're going to game 5, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be SB against Moloch. What a great, great game number 4. I suck with Sparky. I just do, guys. I'm so bad. Let's take a look at that Giant Double Prince deck also. So here we go. Goblin Giant Sparky comes out. On top, you see those 7 Dark Princes come down. The Heal Spirit, 9 Heal Spirits came out. You saw how much work the Heal Spirit did. I love the Heal Spirit. It's one of my favorite cards that's ever been introduced in the game. I love the mechanics of it. And you saw right there how well, or when it's used well, how effective it truly can be. Other side of it, you know, Giant Double Prince bait deck, it fared pretty well. Honestly, it was just that there were moments where Sarak was not able to defend those Sparky shots the way that he wanted to, whether it was getting the correct surround, having the Dark Prince soak up a shot, having half your Goblin Gang take a shot as opposed to your entire Goblin Gang. There's just a lot of things in there that make it really, really difficult to come back from when you do that over and over and over again. When you do that over and over again, playing against Sparky. Because you make one mistake, and that's 3, 2, 4, however many elixir in the hole, because as we all know, Sparky just eats through stuff. Yeah, Kelly says Sparky's the one card that you hate to see. It's really, really true. For how easy it can be to deal with, it is incredibly frustrating sometimes. Guys, make sure you hit that follow. Well, that subscribe button. And go follow me on Twitter. Also, I'm going to post a link to my Mad Cat here in the chat. I'm going to start streaming on Mad Cat TV very soon. Be doing some Clash Royale and, of course, Valorant. There's the link. All right. Graveyard out. Sparky once again here from SB. Looking like he might just be running the same deck back. And honestly, the way he played that deck, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. Great decision-making here, though, on Moloch's end. When you see that Sparky go down, Graveyard can be a really great response, but that Heal Spirit might even everything up here. So Mega Knight comes down. Sparky going to get another shot in. Yeah, leave a like too. That'd be great. Actually, all you guys hit like. So here we go. Team Paragon. Hanging on for dear life right now. All on the shoulders of Mullick. Running this interesting Mega Knight bait deck, or excuse me, Mega Knight graveyard deck. I said bait like 30 times today, so. Here we go. Baby Dragon crossing the river. And Snowball comes in to clean up that E-Wiz. Get a little bit more tower damage. 1409 to 1706. Both these win conditions can steal a game from you in instance, though. In an instance. There's a word. There's a sentence. Dark Prince goes right on through, completely ignored by Mullick, knowing that probably going to be that right-hand tower that's going to fall in this game, if it does. Great Mega Knight comes in just in time, squeezes it in front of the Night Witch, protects it from the Mega Minion, and gets through and gets two on tower, which is great. Graveyard comes down, Sparky completely distracted in the back, not knowing what to do. Goblin Giant comes down, waiting for that Goblin Hut. There it is. Maybe we're going to see a high E-Wiz or maybe a Night Witch, something. Mega Knight comes down to take tank for it. Dual lane pressure coming in. Where's the Graveyard going to come down, left or right? Looks like he's still committed to the right. Night Witch going to come in and help clean up that Dark Prince. There's the Graveyard to tank for the Night Witch. Goblin Brawler on that left-hand tower. Oh my gosh! I guess SB thought that that would... I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. Let's go look at the stats, and then maybe I'll be able to pull up a replay in time. I'm very curious to see what just happened there. I mean, a completely ignored Goblin Brawler just doing work on that right-hand tower. And there you go. That's what we're talking about, that increased damage, right? So there's the stats there. You guys take a quick look at them. I'm going to see if I can fast forward really quickly to get to those final minutes of this game. 4 Goblin Cages out today, and Goblin Cage has kind of been, it appears Goblin Cage has kind of been the winner so far of the meta shift. You know, we haven't seen any of the spawner buildings. We haven't seen any Goblin Hut, Furnace, or Barbarian Huts, so kind of happy about that, but not sure if we're 100% happy about it dropping completely out. And then we haven't seen any Battle Healer Elixir Golem yet. So very, very interesting on that. I'm going to hop over here to the match scene, see if I can slow this down in time for you guys as we wait for 1v1 to get going. We are going the distance today. So here we go, here we go. Speed it up, there's that. Okay, so I think it's this Goblin Brawler. So it's behind the Mega Knight, completely healthy. It does get the Heal Spirit. Oh, the Heal Spirit comes in to distract, but the Goblin Brawler is still getting tanked for. And it is just going to town on that tower. SB making a big, big mistake in not defending that. Probably not thinking that it was going to be quite as brutal, I guess, as it was. So, wow. Goblin Brawler doing some work. Love it. So, see here where we are with our next match. We get the 1v1 going. So we're waiting for just a couple minutes for these guys to figure out who's going to come out for 1v1 and what is going to be banned. Really, really excited about it. Let me take a look here over in the chat. Kelly says, leave a like. It's going to be a close finish. You know what, Kelly? I'm going to do this for you. You're always hanging out. You're always so helpful. Let's moderate you. Thank you so much for being here. Bruh, says Cody Wang. Wow, I know. Maros Perina says, WTF. I know. What? The Goblin Stick says Gems Esports. OP, OP, OP. Yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, literally, Goblin Brawler just getting tanked for by that Mega Knight, and it did so much damage. I mean, we already knew that Goblin Brawler did a good amount of damage, but that 6% increase is huge. Cody Wang says, wouldn't have done it without the buff. I did the math. There you go. Cody, how short would it have been? Do you know? That's interesting, though. And thanks for that quick math. That's definitely not something I could have done. All right, well, we're kind of hanging out here, guys. Why don't you go hit that follow on Twitter, twitter.com/AndrewGuy. Go to madcat.tv/AndrewGuy. And, of course, hit that sub and like button here. Well done, Cody. Willing to do what the rest of us won't, says Stephanie. Yes, this is very true. And Cody says, woo, Kelly, mod, love it. So, guys, how are we feeling about the balance updates so far? Like I said, I don't know. Because I hate spawning building so much that I'm okay with them not really being in the meta. But I do think it kind of sucks when something completely drops off. But here's the thing. I don't know if there's been enough time to truly test whether or not they're actually effective or viable in competitive play. So maybe today they're just kind of playing it safe. Maybe tomorrow we'll see more of battle healers and elixir golems and huts and stuff like that. But Baby Dragon hasn't been affected too much, I think, is one thing that we've also noticed. And, you know, we are still waiting for just... Oh, nope. So here we go. We got our lineups. Looks like we're going to do Bersota versus Sherry. And the bans are going to be Earthquake and Sparky. So there you go. They got enough of the Sparky in King of the Hill, which is it's completely understandable. That Sparky was devastating on both sides of the board. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I like those bans. I think those are strong bans. Earthquake is... I'm kind of bummed that they're banning Earthquake just because I haven't seen Earthquake yet in the new meta, and I really want to know what it's like competitively. Just because I hate playing against it so much. So we'll see. But here we go. Match game set. Game number 1, set 3 of this first match of the day coming your way right now. Oh, and I fixed that audio thing, I believe, guys, that kind of made me fade in and out as we change scenes. So let me know if that's better for you. Fireball comes down. Baby Dragon gonna get on tower. Ooh, Wallbreaker's coming just in time. Baby Dragon does get his second belch in. So a lot of that damage mitigated. Miner to the back. Sherry says, oops. Cody Wang says, I'm looking forward to the day when there is no meta. Not sure if it's possible. Yeah, I don't know, man. That seems, oh, there we go. First battle healer of the day. And a Valkyrie on the other end. So, battle healer. Oh, guys. Here we go. Maybe we'll be seeing it. The Stinky Cheese. Lucas Shashek says audio is better on transitions. Thanks, Lucas. And Miner to the back. Interesting. Wallbreakers go opposite lane. The reason I was saying interesting, I just wasn't sure if he was going to try to go hyper-aggressive in the opposite lane. There we go, guys. Tries to go for the King Tower activation with the Tornado, but I think we're starting to learn, you know, maybe the Tornado does a little bit too much damage. Sneaky Cheese alert, says Cody Wang. I lost the game on ladder because I forgot how EQ now kills skeletons in one hit. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So here we go. Elixir Golem in the back, and it is the Stinky Cheese. Yep, we'll see. We'll see. I don't ever pick favorites, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't ever mind seeing the Stinky Cheese lose. So, Dragons both down. Battle Healer right behind. Valkyrie there. Maybe he completely ignores. Yes, he does. Bersota completely ignores the left-hand lane. Bomb Tower comes out last second. That's actually a pretty decent exchange on both ends. Miner goes to the back. E-Drag has to come down. I love that super aggressive play there. Wallbreakers are going to connect. That was a beautiful, beautiful exchange by Sherry. Now Magic Archer's on the left-hand side, really taking advantage of the elixir that he gained from that elixir golem push. Baby Dragon does go towards that Magic Archer in a great tornado to pull it all together. This is the moment for Bersota to come back and kind of take a tower. This is his moment. He needs to do it here. E-Dragon at the river. Elixir Golem is down, and remember, that Elixir Golem goes down and gives 4 more elixir here to Sherry. Not what you want. Sherry going to be able to adequately defend. 127 HP remaining. That was a great, great turn of the tides in just one exchange. Great defense, and then a hyper-aggressive Miner, plus all the remaining swarm, and then you send in Wallbreakers afterwards, and the E-Dragon could just not keep up. There's the flame coming out from Sherry, and now Team Emperiial back in the lead. Great, great plays there. that deck, that kind of minor wall breakers Magic Archer deck, it's been really popular for a while now, and we've seen kind of different iterations of it, but this one I believe was one of the most classic ones. I can't remember if it was skeletons instead of goblins or if those were always interchangeable, because it wasn't really a deck that I ever loved playing. But Sherry there did exactly what it's best at, which is just kind of overwhelming your opponent, making them make a mistake, and then taking advantage of remaining swarm troops and elixir deficit. Even not even an elixir deficit. Honestly, just kind of catching your opponent off cycle. The only response he had to all those troops was the Elixir Dragon. Baby Dragon, I believe, was out, so Elixir Dragon has to come down. And Electro Dragon has to come down, and it just cannot keep up with the bats, the goblins, and of course those late wall breakers. It can only hit 3 units at a time, and one of them is going to be that miner. So E-Drag comes down to try to defend, but just not enough. And then here Cody pokes out and goes, wow, wait, 12 elixir leaked? Maybe. Actually, let's go take a look at that. Yeah, looks like 12 elixir was leaked there by Bersota, that's huge, man. That's actually a really, really massive amount of elixir leaks. So as we get into game number 2, let's see if he can kind of make up for that. That's kind of unforgivable at that point, unless it was all happening in the beginning. So well played by Sherry. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Because the other thing is that if you kind of sell out on those swarm pushes with wall breakers and you're not keeping good track of your opponent's elixir or cycle, then all of a sudden that becomes such great spell value for your opponent, and you never want to be way down when you're playing that deck. So yeah, Sherry played that brilliantly. Looking like we could see Graveyard here from Bersota. How does he want to support this? Doesn't decide to. Full elixir bar. Bersota's already leaked 3 elixir. Sherry's leaked 2. We'll see if that adds up over the game. Bersota not sure exactly what to do, so he just decides to safely cycle another Musketeer in the back, knowing that he's probably not going up against a big spell. Well, I know that he's going to have to deal with a pretty frustrating win condition here in just a moment. Most likely going to be, I think, Ram Rider. Dark Prince comes in time, just clean up that Lumberjack. High Musketeer, getting ready to Graveyard. A little too high on that Musketeer. And the high Ice Golem allows that Dark Prince to get up front. There goes the barrel, cleaning everything up at the river. Magic Archer going to get poisoned off the board, but a very healthy Inferno Dragon here to meet this Mega Minion, and now maybe put Sherry on the offensive. He's kind of mounting it up here. There's the Ram Rider. Ram Rider in front of the Lumberjack. Lumberjack going to try to get in and get a lot of that DPS, hopefully on the Dark Prince, but instead goes to the Ice Golem. A perfect Bomb Tower comes in and mitigates almost 100% of that damage, and Bersota in a great spot after that exchange. 500 HP in the lead. So we got a little insider's information here from Lanny. Says it was in the end when he knew he lost, Bersota just stopped playing. Big push here coming in. Magic Archer is defended from that Ram Rider, or from that Dark Prince splash, and from the Bomb Tower splash. So that Magic Archer staying alive, that's going to be trouble. Ram Rider's still alive. Bandit getting tanked for. Bandit on the tower. Magic Archer on the tower. All of it raged up, and just like that, Sherry did it again. Bersota playing so well, but Sherry just in his mind, a great Magic Archer there. High and aggressive, 10 HP on that tower, and that is going to do it. Snowball's going to come in, and that will be it for Team Paragon. They played so well, but Sherry coming out for Emperiial, locking things down. Had a great showing in King of the Hill, but obviously a better showing here in 1v1. Whew, that was it. That was the distance, guys. Let's go take a look at those numbers from Stats Royale. There we are. Sherry only gets 2 Ram Riders down. You saw that beautiful, beautiful push there at the end. Ram Rider, Lumberjack, Magic Archer, all of it got raged up. You got another Magic Archer down, and we saw it today. We've seen it a couple times, that Magic Archer piercing damage to get through onto your Princess Tower. It's back, and it's just as devastating as it's always been. So a great, great first match of the day. Let's go take a look here over at our pre-match graphics to see what we got. So there you go, Emperiial Esports now up to 2-1. Obviously, Cream Academy and Team Liquid going to play here in just a few minutes. We're going to wait and see. I've got to populate the clan and get all those lineups in. Match 2 preview. Cream Academy going up against Liquid Academy. Take a look at our lineups here. Liquid, Demas, Claudio, Dermav, Moji, Petus Best, Trainer Valley, and Make and Forma 01. I'm sure I read those perfectly. On the other side of it for Cream Academy, got Red Brightness, Kenny, Gemin, Dr. Castillo, Joel Mendo, I'm Helio, Ace, who was in the No Tilt Cup, so I'm not sure if we'll see him or not. No Tilt Specials, but Ace, who was doing pretty well, and then Topic. So Cream Academy going up against Liquid Academy next here, and we got a few minutes. So guys, I'm actually going to take a minute or two break. I'm going to turn on some music for you, and I will be back in just one moment. All right, guys, we are back. I am back. We are back. Liquid Cream Academy's coming up next. Who do you guys got in the chat? Let me know. What are you guys thinking? What did you think about the new meta? What did you think of that first match of the day? I had a great time. I loved it. I loved seeing a shift. I loved seeing different decks. We only saw the Stinky Cheese once, and we saw it lose, so, you know, I'm okay with that. No offense to, obviously, the person that ran it and lost with it, but, you know, that's just kind of the world we're in right now. So, great first match. Emperiial getting closer to that top spot, and obviously this is going to be a big moment for them, paying very close attention here to Cream Academy versus Liquid Academy. And, I mean, are you guys ready? You guys ready for 2v2? Because I'm ready for 2v2. Let's do it. Giant skeleton in the back. And look at those bands. Goblin Barrel and Lava Hound. So fascinating here. So Team Liquid, Darren Mob and Trainer Vale at the top of your screen. And of course, Cream Academies. I'm Helios and Kenny at the bottom. So there's the P.E.K.K.A. once again. We're going P.E.K.K.A. and Mega Knight. Mega Knight going to take a lot of damage from that bomb, but of course that E-Wiz in the back, very, very healthy. We go high Mega Minion here to take that Mega Minion out, try to create some sort of pressure on this tower, and it looks like our friends over in the Liquid Academy have brought out the first mini P.E.K.K.A. of the day. And E-Wiz going to get a hit. Ah, you know what they're going for. Trying to get that graveyard just down in time to maybe get that reset onto the skeletons. You like the idea. Not quite working out, but what did work out was this Baby Dragon plus graveyard getting a lot of damage in on that tower. There's only 3 elixir in the hand of Team Liquid Academy right now. So a great swing there from Cream. Kenny and I'm Helios, recognizing how much elixir their opponents had spent early on, going with a very aggressive graveyard. Yes, they don't get the E-Wiz reset onto the skeletons to get a ton of damage, but still a great first swing. And they're still in the elixir lead. So Goblin Cage back out. Dark Goblin at the river, picked up by the Baby Dragon. -1 trade there for Liquid. But now this Goblin Brawler going to go right into that giant skeleton. Doesn't cross the river, though. So Cream at the bottom, Liquid at the top. There's the graveyard out from Liquid. Skeleton Barrel is in. Poison down for Liquid to defend. Really, really nice there. Cleans up the skellies, cleans up the all the skellies. Skellies from the barrel, skellies from the graveyard. And a mini P.E.K.K.A. from Cream as well. So very interesting deck construction here. Obviously with Lava Hound out of play, they knew it was all going to be on the ground. So going real heavy with splash damage, stuns, and single target DPS. They got poisons for graveyards. No tornadoes though. A freeze comes down, a very, pretty well-timed freeze, but now a very healthy push coming across the lane and a mini P.E.K.K.A. up front. How will Liquid deal with this? Well, a giant skeleton at the river. That's why the giant skeleton's always banned, because that bomb does things like that. Wow. How much elixir can you clean up, my friend? What was that, like 12, 15? That was nuts. It was like a total of 16. Cody, what's the math? Kelly says, I like seeing the Gob Cage back. Could not agree more. Very, very happy to see the Goblin Cage back. I love the Goblin Cage. 12:02. High Musketeer here, going to tank for that Mega Minion. Nope, just the Baby Dragon. Mini P.E.K.K.A. going to fall. Skellies keep everything at bay in that giant skeleton bomb. What a great use of skeletons for a great positive trade. Graveyard becomes very, very ineffective, and now's the moment for Team Liquid to go hyper-aggressive. Skelly Barrel, Graveyard, Dark Goblin, Baby Dragon finally crossing the river. Mega Minion up high and clean that Dark Goblin out. And very little damage done on the tower. Dark Goblin back behind one of the best responses in the game, of course, to Graveyard. And there we go. Giant Skeleton Bomb once again going to clean everything up there except for the P.E.K.K.A. 9-20, 11-18. Yeah, these are both Academy squads, guys. Cream Academy, Team Liquid Academy. Freeze down. Dark Goblin in, but Dark Goblin's too high. Gets cleaned up by the skeletons. And Team Liquid with a great graveyard freeze deck. Doing a really good job of when to pull the trigger on those freezes. Yes, it's not going to work every single time, but you get one great graveyard freeze in, and that's all it takes. That Dark Goblin in the back just not able to keep up with all the skeletons surrounded. And, of course, the freeze comes in. Damage done, and there you go. 2 freezes, 6 graveyards coming out here for Team Liquid Academy, taking game number 1. Very little elixir leaked on both sides, but you do see 20 elixir here spent by Cream Academy or Cream Esports on buildings. So very close game, very nice first game here. Cream just a little bit behind on those defenses. Both these squads using poison 3 times to help with those graveyards, and You see very, very similar decks from both players, 3.9 and 11 from Valley, 3.8 and 11 for Mauve, and then on the other side of Cream, the exact same cycle and the exact same average elixir. So, here we go. This is 1v1 battle, but I feel... Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was like, did I miss a whole entire game? No. So here we go, 2v2, game number 2, coming your way in just a moment. Team Liquid Academy up 1 game as of right now. I was kind of medium on those decks, but you understand it with the bans, trying to keep everything on the ground. It's interesting to see P.E.K.K.A, Mini P.E.K.K.A, and Mega Knight all in the hands of one team, one squad. So we'll see if they change out maybe one of those beefier units on the ground for something maybe a little higher DPS or maybe a card with more utility here in game number 2. I haven't seen a lot of BM today. Actually, very, very little BM today. So Mini P.E.K.K.A E-Wiz down for Liquid. And Magic Archer coming out here in 2v2. E-Wiz does get through on the tower, gets a few zaps in. And wall breakers left are met by a log. Even trade, even elixir. Liquid out to a slight lead. So great use of the Dark Goblin there. Knows it's going to take a step towards the Miner and then still go in the lane that they want to pursue, helping out with that Mega Minion. Giant Skeleton should get there just in time. And whether that was orchestrated purposefully or not, that was a beautiful, beautiful Dark Goblin. So Poison going to come down, clean everything up. Snowball comes in, kind of slow that tower down, maybe help those skeletons out. And it honestly does. A nice big hit there from Team Liquid. Miner to the back. Valkyrie plus wall breakers up front. Really nice pickup there from the Mega Minion and the Mini P.E.K.K.A to take out that Miner in the back. You start streaming on Twitch again anytime soon, says Casey Diaz. Yeah, as much as I'd like to start streaming on Twitch, I think I'm actually going to go over to Mad Cat. I got a deal over there, so I'll be on Mad Cat and YouTube. I'll be probably dual streaming on those for a while, but I'll definitely be hosting like $100 tournaments only on Mad Cat. So if you guys are ever interested in getting in on those, go follow me at madcat.tv/AndrewGuy. There's the link in the chat. Magic Archer off to the right, or excuse me, off to the left to help out with everything on the right, but nice and out of range of all these units, staying safe, and going to turn and help out with that Dark Goblin. Dark Goblin probably looking to take out the Magic Archer, however, was distracted by the Baby Dragon. Now 554 remaining on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, and, you know, Cream really needing to figure out some way to build any semblance of an offense. Those giant skeletons are just brutal all game long, actually all match long. They just have not been able to get through what they need because of those giant skeleton bombs. However, right now, Mega Knight finally gets on the tower, gets a big leap, and I think 3 swings in, bringing it down to 976, and all of a sudden, as we get down to 27 seconds left in regulation, we're in a pretty even game. Mega Knight up in front of the giant skeleton bomb. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. The wall breakers come in on top of the Musketeer. All of them get cleaned up, but the Mega Knight leaps, and that's going to do it. Cream Academy strikes back, and we are going to game number 3 here in the 2v2 set. Wow. Those Mega Knights. I mean, it almost seemed like Cream found kind of like a glitch in the Matrix with these Mega Knights and figured out how and when to place them to where Liquid could not deal with them. I mean, even with 2 giant skeletons, you know, giant skeleton in the hand of both players, they still were not able to keep those Mega Knights at bay. The Miner going to the back, kind of, you know, what is the word you're looking for? Kind of throwing off their defense, and then everything up on the front end easily cleaned up by the support behind that Mega Knight. So crazy to see those Mega Knight leaps coming in that late in the game and being that effective. I think it was, what, 2 or 3 pushes in a row that Mega Knight was getting on through. So Let's go look at the chat really quick, guys. See what you guys are up to. Exclusively says, yes, exclusively. Yeah, so the idea is with Mad Cat is I'm going to be hosting tournaments there. I'm going to be streaming Clash Royale, and I'm going to be streaming Valorant there. Those are probably the only games that I'll be playing. And yeah, it's exciting. You know, I said this a little bit yesterday, but since we're, you know, we got time here in between this game as we get into game number 3 in 2v2, is I recently moved and got a new PC setup and all that, so I took a little break from streaming, and now with Mad Cat being kind of so encouraging for mobile streamers, I think I'm just going to hop over there, and obviously CWA, who helped put this tournament together, was one of the big reasons that I'm actually going to be over there on Mad Cat. So I'm excited to do Mad Cat and YouTube moving forward. So a very aggressive first 20 seconds here. Freeze comes down offensively, but a snowball comes in just in time here from Team Liquid. They do get the death damage, but obviously much better than that bomb drop. So it looks like Cream Academy is going to go with some sort of Lumber Loon deck. Giant Skeleton on the tower on the right-hand side. That will get death damage, and that is a huge, huge mental mistake early on by Cream. I mean, yes, you get a few Lumberjack swings on the left-hand side, but that Giant Skelly death bomb on the right and the Baby Dragon Belches on the left just scream out misplay. Yeah, I got a key, Quesadillas. I've been playing Valorant for a few weeks now. I got in right when the beta started, yeah, I've been really enjoying playing. So here, Ice Golem comes down, trying to time that perfectly to meet the Skelly Barrel. Poison come down to assist as well, but still a good amount of damage in from those skeletons. Lumberjack comes down to support that Ice Golem. We go Lumber Loon, opposite lane. Maybe going to see a freeze. Does Cream go all out here? Yes, there it is. There's the freeze, the last second freeze. You knew it was going to come as soon as that E-Wiz came down a little bit early on the E-Wiz, and 124 remains. Bomb going to go off. Cream Academy up in front once again, going for the reverse sweep. Team Liquid been playing very well in all 3 games, but then it seems in the last 2, Cream is just able to kind of steal the victory from them. So great use of the bomb tower plus poison there to mitigate a bunch of damage. Most of the damage, only taking about 150, I believe. Obviously a little bit more than they would have liked to take, so Skelly Barrel going to drop. Log going to come down. There's the log. 100 more damage gone. 242 remaining. So biggest thing here is if you're Cream, you want to put in a lot of offensive pressure here in just a moment, because you see that right there. Poison has to come down, and that's why they cycled that Giant Skeleton. They're cycling Giant Skeletons because they know they have to spend on offensive with spells. They know they got to double down on defense because they know their opponents are going to go for it. Anytime you got to close out regulation by spelling out a tower naked, your opponent usually always goes for the offensive aggression as soon as that overtime comes in. So freeze does come down. Freeze on both sides of the map here, but a great poison. Gotta imagine a log's gonna come in a second too. Arrows instead. Giant Skeleton Bomb will go off on the King Tower, but not a big deal here for Cream. And we go Loon, Lumber, Ice Golem in the pocket. Balloon pulled towards the King Tower with that Goblin Hut. Miner to the back, 1990 to 1473. There's the freeze, but not a good freeze. And you get a little bit of a laughing spectator there from Cream's side. Surprised on that freeze, honestly. That could be the game changer right there. 1473 going through. Log comes down. Need a log here from Cream. 1279. Mega Minion going to get on that tower. Gets a big swing in. 967 with poison ticking. 805, 1956. Cream playing so well in these last 2 games. Team Liquid, though, coming back after their victory in game number 1. Arrows come in to clean up that Dark Goblin. Goblin Hut up high. That will get death damage. Will it get a drop as well? No, it does not. And Cream really, really needed that drop. E-Wiz, Goblin Brawler, Mini P.E.K.K.A. going to King Tower. Will a freeze come in to support that? 1748 and 695 to 2132 and 1576. 40 seconds remaining. Giant Skeleton in the pocket. Graveyard supported. Poisons down on both ends. This looks like it's going to be a Team Liquid Academy game, and set. There it is. Vale and Dermov bouncing back after a rough game 2, and honestly a rough start here in game number 3, but able to stay on top, close things out. Cream Academy falling just a little bit short in game number 3. So let's go take a look at the numbers. There you go, 2-1 set to Team Liquid. Very little elixir leaked on both sides of the board. A lot more buildings out from Liquid with those goblin huts as opposed to the bomb towers. And you see spell elixir, you know, 9, not a huge difference there. So really well played by both these guys. Just became really overwhelmed there at the end of the game. Trying to get the balloons to King Tower, and to Princess Tower in a 2-tower game can be so frustrating, especially when your opponents have that many responses, you know, with the E-Wiz, with the Goblin Hut, with the Freeze even, or the Snowball, excuse me. So many responses there. And then, of course, the double Giant Skeletons once again. You have to wonder if maybe Cream wishes they would have banned Giant Skeleton instead of, I believe it was... Oh, let's go take a look here. I think there's a way to figure this out, Drew. I just can't remember. You guys remember what their ban was? Let's see here. I think it was... Yeah, Goblin Barrel and Lava Hound. So really interesting bans there. I really don't know if the Goblin Barrel ban in 2v2 is actually justified. But then again, you know, we are in a new meta, so it's maybe just something they really didn't want to deal with what their deck and win construction and kind of deck construction was. They were just like, you know what? We don't want to deal with this. This is the last thing that we need. Is if they run Goblin Barrel, then all of a sudden we're going to find ourselves not being able to cycle around quick enough, or just being one spell short of dealing with a bunch of bait aspects. GG's, the Dirty Freeze. Marianne says, hi, Andrew. Thanks for the stream. I am a bit late, though. No problem. No problem. Yeah, Lava and God Barrel. Yep. Yep, glad to have you here, Marianne. Appreciate you hanging out here today. We'll be back again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 11 a.m. on my YouTube. Maybe next week I'll try to start dual streaming the tournament on Mad Cat, but... As for now, this tournament is going to be exclusively on my YouTube channel. Yeah, Lava and God Barrel. Thank you, thank you. So just waiting here on the King of the Hill lineups. Going to just be a couple minutes. Waiting just a second. How you guys doing in the new season? Having fun? Trying out any new decks? I know that I really want to try or play that Sparky Giant bait deck again that we saw earlier from Sarak, I believe, was who ran it. It's a fun deck. Sherry had no responses to it, but then Sherry came back. And, of course, that 1v1 set to bring home the win. Now Liquid Academy. Yeah, the ban on barrel means a ban on bait. Totally. It's just, you know, it's interesting because, like, 2v2 bait has been really one of those hot and cold archetypes. It's never been, like, incredibly dominant, but we've definitely seen it dominate in the past. So here we go. King of the Hill. First up is Make and Joel Mendo. Cream at the bottom of your screen. Liquid at the top, and you can see the lineups there on the left-hand side. Magic Archer banned from both of these teams in King of the Hill. So that's pretty interesting. I'm very curious. Yeah, 11 a.m. West Coast, whatever that is. 11 a.m. PST. Which is like 8 p.m. for everyone else in this tournament. So there we go. Knight, Earthquake, Snowball. And on the other side of it, we got Dark Prince and E-Wiz. There's the Hog Rider. I had a feeling it was going to be kind of a weird-looking Hog deck when you saw those cards come out. Obviously, the Musketeer there, Earthquake, and Snowball makes you think could be either Hog Rider or Ram Rider, but then Ram Rider doesn't really make a lot of sense with the rest of those cards. So maybe we see a Knight dropped right on top, Bomb Tower instead, or both. Okay. So that's drop 7 elixir there. Keep the Bomb Tower healthy in case there is a counter push, which will happen here from this Goblin Hut. Nice use of the Earthquake. And Brawler going to get kited by that Hog. Really, really nice kite there from that Hog Rider. And a great log. Knocks back the Dark Prince, stops the charge, takes off the shield, stuns the E-Wiz, and allows a big hit to come in. Great play there by Joel. Decides to take the hit, take the charge, go Goblins behind, knowing that splash damage would wreck his little green guys. And, you know, a couple stabs in there after a Sparky shot. Not bad, not bad. Joel probably feeling pretty good as he gets into double elixir time, knowing he can spend most of his elixir now on just spelling out that tower and defense. Maki. Thank you, Len. Wow. And that's exactly what it was. I mean, yeah, that lightning came in, did a ton of work, not enough defense in the hand. Hog Rider turns around because of the Goblin Hut, and just like that, a beautiful lead that Joel Mendo had. He's now trying to keep his King Tower from getting 3 crowns, 651. Sparky still alive, Goblin Brawler behind. That is going to do it. 3 crowns, no problem, says Maki, as that Goblin Brawler comes in 238. What a big, big punch in, and so much log value, as you see DG there saying. Maki turning things around in an instant. Joel may be getting a little bit too aggressive as he was getting towards double elixir time, knowing that if his opponent defended adequately, he would have to deal with a gigantic turnaround push, and that's exactly what happened. You know, I think it started off with that Sparky taking out a handful of things, and a healthy Sparky that cleans up an offensive push all on its own can be pretty devastating as it crosses the river. So Maki gets that 3 crown, does leak 10 elixir, but honestly, 1 Goblin Giant comes down, 3 Sparkies, and that 1 big time Lightning. Lightning can be one of those cards that when you stop thinking about it, and you start kind of doubling down or overcommitting on defense, and it cleans up all your DPS troops, you can literally just go, okay, I had the game in hand, and that 6 elixir just ruined me. And that's exactly what just happened to Joel. So here we go, going into the next game of King of the Hill. See what they got, see what Cream has in response. It's going to be Dr. Castillo versus Maki. Band is still Magic Archer. We're going to get going here in just 1 minute. Oh, less than a minute. Let's do it. Let's do it. So wall breakers out on both sides, except for Maki decides to split. And Castillo tries to go all in. Wall breakers connect on both sides on Castillo's end. Bandit picks up that miner. And a nice start here for Maki. Minions meet minions. Zap comes down. Minions get a little bit of damage. Nice zap there from Castillo. So Goblins up high. Nice placement on the Goblins there to take out the wall breakers, turn around, take out the miner, and allow a counter push. And a great, I was just going to say, almost a perfect miner. That miner, if that miner was 1 tile higher, it would have tanked on both sides of the board, creating a little bit more pressure. It's the same amount of elixir spent, except for your guys on the right side of the board also get a tank. So would have been nice. Would have been nice. So minions here, plus Mega Knight. Castillo trying not to overcommit because he knows his opponent can go opposite lane, as he just did there. Nice defense, but still takes a good amount of damage. 1593 to 2267. Cream Academy getting a little worked by Maki. Zap comes in. Wallbreaker connects. That is a big-time zap. But maybe a little bit too much elixir spent. Great recognition there by Castillo. Both those wall breakers are going to connect, and all of a sudden we are back at an even game. That's one of those really tough moments, right? Maki knew that if he went in, he would be able to get a good amount of damage, but then not even enough elixir to get that bar barrel down in time. Liner goes in. Bandit doesn't turn around. Bandit at the river. Picked up by the Goblins. Mega Knight in the back. You like that, seeing that Musketeer come down. Instead of trying to help out those minions, you just start your, I guess, next push or strong defense. We'll find out. So sequencing coming together very, very nicely here for Castillo. And ends up being pretty even, but Castillo has that miner on the back of the tower just going to town. Musketeer caught by the Bandit. Zap comes in for the minions, but not enough. 297 to 596. Bandit turns around, goes to the back. Wow, Bandit doesn't dash on tower. Minions on tower. 297, 596. This is very, very close. DG Thunder says, I hate wall breakers. They run past all your defenses so fast. Yes, very true. Mega Knight going to turn around, go backwards. Miner to the back of the tower. Castillo needs to pick up the miner. There's the Bandit. Miner goes to the safe spot. Goes to the number 1 spot. Bandits dash on top of each other. 185. Bandit not able to get on top of that Musketeer. Musketeer doing some work. Zap comes in, but doesn't hit the minions. Only hits the wall breakers, and that is going to do it. Oh, maybe I spoke a little bit too soon. Miners on the tower. Yes, sir. That will do it. Cream. 2 up, 2 down. Maki doing work here for Team Liquid. Academy. Got to keep throwing that Academy in there. He's been doing such a good job of just kind of staying resilient, finding that opening, and just taking advantage of it. 1-2-0. Very little elixir leaked on both sides. Tons of troop dropped out. Spells. Big difference in spells there. You see 22 elixir used. And that's probably because the bar barrel is considered a spell, right? So there's 2 there, and then obviously 2 elixir for the zaps. That adds up to the 22. Just zap in the hand. Spell-wise for Castillo, maybe that's one of the reasons why he ended up struggling against those wall breakers as the game moved forward. So now, tough spot. Dangerous position, if you will. Cream on the verge of being eliminated here in a 2-set sweep. Liquid really needing to pick up that one. I mean, their first victory. They haven't had a victory here yet in Group B. So, you know, kind of a moment to play Dream Crusher, even though I think Cream will still be in a good enough spot. But if you're Liquid Academy, you really want this win, right? I mean, why not? Why not? Let's go take a look at the chat. Maki, Demas. So much log value. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Game number 3. King of the Hill. Will Maki complete the full set sweep? So again, Cream at the bottom of your screen. Team Liquid Academy at the top. Red Brightness. Firecracker Giant Skeleton early on. Will we be seeing Hog Rider? Will we be seeing Royal Giant? Or will we be seeing something completely different? So Bomb going to clean up that Goblin Brawler. Hog Rider, there it is. Lightning comes in. Hog does not get a hit. A lot of elixir spent. A lot of elixir in the hole now. Red Brightness has to respond very cheaply and aggressively. I like that. Probably the best response he could have played, but still not going to get much out of it. Nice defense there from Maki with that Dark Prince. Ends up evening that elixir up a little bit. There's the log, and now we're even. It's always nice to see the way that those exchanges go, you know. Mini P.E.K.K.A up high was the idea to create a counter push knowing his opponent was in an elixir hole, but the really nice defense there, efficient defense from Maki, evens things up, demands the log, both back at 5. So Giant Skeleton Firecracker once again. Mega Minion there to catch the Firecracker, but instead gets distracted by that Giant Skelly. Not what Maki wanted to see, but, you know, not a huge deal. Giant Skeleton, great counter to that Goblin Hut. We've seen it now 2 times in a row. A little bit of flash damage there from the Firecracker, and Sparky comes down in the back. Immediately we go Hog, Goblins, opposite lane. Misses 2 of the Spear Goblins with the Snowball. Log comes in, trying to keep those Spear Goblins alive, but won't do it, and instead the Dark Prince stays alive, so now we got dual lane pressure here coming from Maki. And this is when things can get really, really dangerous for Red Brightness. Red Brightness uses his Electro Wizard on defense in the right-hand lane, goes Giant Skeleton in the left, ends up defending pretty dang well. I mean, perfectly, honestly. Giant Skeleton tanking for that Hog. Hog going to get a couple swings before that Sparky shot goes off. There it is. 1679 on the top of your screen. Red Brightness taking anything he can where he can get it. Giant Skeleton up high. Was that a mistake? You can imagine we'll probably see E-Wiz plus Mini P.E.K.K.A in the bottom. Mega Minion comes down. There's the E-Wiz plus the Mini P.E.K.K.A, but that's exactly the idea behind the Mega Minion, to get on top of that E-Wiz. So damage coming in. Damage done here on the bottom left for Maki. Trying to even things up here. 837 top right, 816 bottom left, but 1679 in your top left here for Maki. Goblin Brawler, or Goblin Hut, comes down just in time. Sparky cleans up the Hog, and now a big counter push coming down the lane for the Liquid representative. He's got to go opposite. He is in Red Brightness. Sparky stays alive, avoids the Giant Skeleton hit. Log pushes everything back. Mini P.E.K.K.A sneaks up front. Firecracker going to get on top of that Dark Prince. Now the E-Wiz. Firecracker doing exactly what you pay her for. Wow. I mean, that card, man. It's just such a fascinating card. It can get so much value. Log pushing that back. Mini P.E.K.K.A trying to get through to the tower. That's the idea of the Log, but Dark Prince still comes up front. There's the Earthquake, but it misses the Goblin Hut. 350 remains. Maki maybe not going to be able to complete the clean sweep. Red Brightness playing very, very well. Just needs a little bit more. But now Maki on tower with the Goblin Giant. Lightning comes in. Oh my gosh, he's going to do it. That is going to... Oh, wow. Wow, 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 Giant Skeleton bomb. Can he stop this? Earthquake is in. Goblin Hut up high. Can he stop the Hog Rider hit? There's the snowball. Now he just needs to get another lightning snowball down. There's the lightning. 62, 65. Snowball not going to be enough. Good game, says Red Brightness, and gets the Earthquake in. Ooh, that was so close. So close. A little bit of quick math there. Not going to be enough. Snowball not going to be enough to take the tower. And Red Brightness keeps Cream Academy alive for at least one more game. Really well played there. I loved the switch up of the Hog Rider, going both lanes, Hog Rider plus Goblins. And also, I really enjoyed his kind of thinking ahead. You know, he knew what defenses he had to play, and he knew how his opponent was going to counter those defenses. You know, the prime example for me is when that Sparky was coming across the river with the Goblin Giant. You know, he dropped Mini P.E.K.K.A, E-Wiz right on top, knowing that a Mega Minion was going to come in. He dropped another unit down to help tank all of that. Ends up taking a little bit of damage. Mini P.E.K.K.A does a lot. And maybe it was a Firecracker was the third card that came down. Not 100% sure. But really, really well played there by both of them, honestly. I mean, Maki was so close. What was it, like 62 HP, something like that? I have a green water bottle. So this is... Anyway, I'm 5. Sorry I found that so enjoyable, guys. So, interesting moment here for Cream. Can they turn this around? Can Red Brightness pull off the full reverse sweep over Team Liquid Academy? I mean, there's only one way to find out, and that's getting into the next game. It's going to be Red Brightness going up against Claudio. Magic Archer is still the ban. Here we go. King of the Hill. Let's do it. So Dark Prince is out. Instead of a Log, we see a Bar Barrel from Red. The invisible drink. Every streamer should have a green water bottle. It's so true, man. It's so true. Dark Prince gets a big connection with the charge and an extra swing in there for Claudio. Not what Red Brightness wanted, so we'll see what he decides to do here. High Goblin Cage, hoping that Brawler gets in front of his Musketeer. Get a little bit of tankability going on. Perfect timing. But obviously Giant Skeleton going to stop all that in the tracks. And Red Brightness now leaking a bit of elixir, trying to decide what he wants to do next. 6.4 elixir leaked. Guys, make sure you are following me on Twitter. Twitter.com/AndrewGuy. Make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube. Give me that like. Helps people find these and helps us promote what's going on for Gems, Mobile Mat, and CWA putting this all together. And of course, lastly, tournament's coming up on MadCat very soon. madcat.tv/AndrewGuy. Squad's just hanging out. Royal delivery. Look at that. First one of the day. First one in competitive play in a very long time. But I'm cool with it. A little bit faster drop time. We'll see how it plays. So the graveyard does finally come out here for Red Brightness. And look at that. Skeletons do get on tower. Mega Minion doesn't quite make it there, but able to get a little bit of damage to help this giant skeleton. Or help out with this giant skeleton as it crosses the river. Now a graveyard comes out for Claudio, and you see the very high goblin cage there. 2 giant skeletons coming down for Claudio. This could be trouble for Red Brightness. Now, obviously, giant skeleton's easy to control, but that first bomb goes off, and are you in trouble? Royal delivery. Doing work. The shield's still up. Turns that giant skeleton around, allows Red Brightness to kind of recoup just a little bit of elixir. Mega Minion down. Looking like they're just going to keep going in the same lane, but Red Brightness kind of in trouble here, you know. Got a lot less HP remaining on that left-hand side, and he's kind of stuck in this cycle of just having to defend these graveyards and build his own counter pushes. So here we go, now the counter push again coming for Red Brightness, but just not able to break through. Again, that giant skeleton just stopping everything when he needs it, and then, you know, in instances like this, when it's not a massive push, he's pretty, you know, he's able to deal with it pretty well. Takes a few hundred damage there. Well, Tornado comes in last second, so a lot of elixir spent. Now Red Brightness with 1 elixir in hand and also a Musketeer on the board, turning up the pressure. Giant skeleton, the great equalizer, dropped at the river. That elixir lead that Brightness had now completely gone. High Dark Prince to clean all that up. Yes, the Bar Barrel comes in, but a poison down in defense as well. So Claudio with a great matchup here. 698, 1127. Claudio does need to get down a little bit more damage, whether it's poison or a couple more graveyards, or excuse me, a graveyard or a couple more poisons. It needs to happen. So there we go. Nothing tanking for the skeletons. Dark Prince in the back to help clean up. Still a little bit of damage in, and a poison. So just like that, Red Brightness is going to be almost even here with Claudio, but Claudio, now his moment to go on offense. Gets that poison down. Beautiful poison on the Musketeer and the Mega Minion. Feeling like this could be the final moments for Cream Academy today. But here we go. One more graveyard out. Dark Prince in the back. Where's the log? No log yet. Poison down. Skeleton's still getting hits. 307, 280. There's the poison in. Claudio takes it, and that is going to do it. GG's across the board. Liquid takes out Cream in 2. Let's go here. Check out those stats. We need to refresh them. There we go. Red Brightness and Claudio. Liquid taking the lead. Taking the win. Big matches today for these squads, and results obviously going to be changing just a bit. I can show you those in just a second. Let's take a look here. Stats again. And there's me. Hey guys, how's it going? Good matches there. Let's see if we can take a look at the results. We'll go results for match 1, and then we'll go results for match 2. How about that? So there are the results for match 1. Paragon falls in 2v2. Emperiial takes the 2v2 set. Then Paragon bounces back in King of the Hill. Emperiial falls. And then a good sweep there by Sherry for Emperiial Esports to close things out. And then, of course, in our second matchup of the day, as you guys just saw, Team Liquid sweeps Cream Academy 2-1, then 3-1. Great plays all the way across the board by Liquid. It was cool to see the Royal delivery for the very first time. It was also great to see a lot of these new decks come out, decks that, you know, we haven't seen yet, or we don't know how strong they're going to be here in the new meta. So, guys, thanks again for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. Love doing the casting. Love being a part of the Gems tournament. I'll be back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Let's hop over here really quick to look at the pre-match to see what these standings, these positions were. So now you see there, Emperiial, Cream Academy, up at the top, 2-0. Emperiial, 1-1. That's where we started our day. And obviously both those squads taking wins. Going to further them up in the lead. Those are going to be the two squads from Group B moving forward in the tournament, at least as far as I know. That's what I'm thinking. So, guys, that's going to do it. Another great day of matches casted. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Make sure you're following me on madcat.tv/AndrewGuy. And, of course, here on YouTube, hit that like button. Hit that sub button. You guys are the best. I appreciate you being here. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before I go? Big shout out to Mobile Matt and CWA, and, of course, my boy Gagarto for helping me out, getting all this put together. Stats Royale for getting us all these great numbers. And, of course, all the squads for putting up such great matches. Thanks for joining me once again, guys. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. casting the matches of Group C, and then I'll be done for the weekend. I think I'll be joining Rich this weekend doing some more no-tilt casting on audio on Saturday and Sunday mornings. So, you know, keep your eye out for that. Like I said, follow me on Twitter. You'll be able to keep up with everything that I'm doing, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Big time salute to you. Take care.